What's up, gang? How we doing, restorers and explorers? We're back for another episode of Tony Restores and Explores. We're doing our typical cleanup here. 355. You guys know the drill. Keeping it clean, y'all. So, already gotten started here. Hitting up the exits. This is where all the good trash be. Hope y'all are having a wonderful summer. I'm doing pretty good. Very busy. Very crazy times out there. But as long as you get out in nature, let the sun get in your face and in your eyeballs, you're pretty good to go. And like we know, if you get out there and clean up a little bit, you get a twofer. Helping keep the place clean, you know what I mean? Despite all the problems in the world, there's always a reason to stay positive. So, yeah, I found some really cool articles I want to talk about this week too while we're out here cleaning. So, some interesting stuff. Since you know, all the news of the hurricanes and the fires, it's just so sad. It makes you want to do more research, and the more research you do and the more reading you do, the more depressing it is. Usually I get so sad about it. It's such a depressing thing to think about all the time, but it has to be addressed. Worrying is preposterous, but you can't keep letting these problems go. But that being said, you know, there's tons of solutions. So the one article I found, we'll do one scary article to talk about and 3 good ones. It's a pretty good ratio, huh? Everything's all about ratios, right, guys? Including nature. Look how pretty it is. Pretty the balance. So, but yeah, due to all these hurricanes and all these fires, I did some deep diving, and there's some scientists over in Germany and Norway that were able to conduct studies to prove that the microplastics in the ocean, especially up there by the North Pole, are leaking plastics into the atmosphere. You know, well, we already know this stuff is just so rigid, and when it's in its micro form, it just kind of floats around. We breathe it in, sinks into the soil, the works. And that's not great. That's not great at all. So I don't know how long of a time frame it would take for our atmosphere to be past the point of no return, but it doesn't seem like it would take long. Because if you really look at the sky, it always just seems to have this hazy film. We got the 4K video here, so it obviously looks gorgeous, and it's kind of invisible on here. It looks like a beautifully gorgeous day, which it is, but you can just kind of tell in the background subtly that there is there's all kinds of junk in the air, whether it be, you know, the oil coming off of these cars from the supernova highways we built with oil machines, or, you know, smog from industrial places. But now we know there's also microplastics being jettisoned up there from our oceans, because that's where a lot of this stuff ends up, guys. Just because we don't see it all here right in front of us on the side of this highway 24/7, even though there is plenty, as we know. The oceans are getting it way worse than anywhere else. The water just carries this stuff down creeks and streams and rivers into oceans and lakes. And it is indeed a big problem. But like I said, that's just one of the sadder articles I wanted to talk about, just to really kind of emphasize the gravity of the situation. Like, there shouldn't be any more hesitating and playing around. If you sit and marvel at nature's beauty, you can't help but feel some sort of sense of responsibility to help out. You little stewards, you know what I mean? Filling up bags. We get bags of trash. Just throw it in a bag. Yeah, which leads to one of the articles I want to talk about. Believe it or not, US and Chinese scientists working together through the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I forget what the Chinese university was called, Jingzhou, I believe, but I could be wrong. I'll put the link in the description, like I said. And they teamed up to find a way to make very not valuable plastic valuable again. Because the reality is only about 9 to 20% of plastics are actually recycled. So if we can find ways to turn this back into a valuable product instead of a one-time use shred it and dread it product, that's good for everybody. Good value for all the capitalists, good environmentalism for the lefties. We have to come together on so many of these issues, guys, and that's how we solve problems instead of fighting each other. It's silly in so many ways. But they teamed up and they used the pyrolysis, where you heat the plastic inside in a lab, in a tube that can be superheated with no oxygen, and it creates the high value resins and all kinds of new technology we can use to upcycle some of this stuff, because it just doesn't, not enough of it that's produced actually gets recycled. You know, despite some of our best efforts, we're just not there yet as far as being able to repurpose this plastic. So that's a good article. That's good news. Teamwork and collaboration. Yeah, the other cool article I wanted to talk about was, I'm always on about how mycelium can help the soil and help remove microplastics from water and stuff like that. But they've also created a new technology that uses wood and water to soak out all of the microplastics, flush it through. So once again, Bernie, once again, I'm asking for your support. But once again, the plants save the day. We have to use our teamwork with them to solve these problems. So I thought that one was super interesting. It was like a wood compound, not really sure exactly what. Got a nice little grasshopper there. That guy has some legs, huh? That guy has hops. You see that little guy? That dude's a big jumper, huh? Little thumper jumper. That's one thing I've noticed too. I really have an appreciation for insects out here as well. Who knows? Maybe they can. We could team up with them as well, and the insects can help on our crusade of preventing ecocide of the planet. So all kinds of tons of plastics, tons and tons and tons. Chemistry behind creating all these things is a fascinating subject as well. So that's the kind of nitty-gritty stuff I want to get involved in to get to the root of this problem and solve it that way. That's seems to be the most practical approach. I mean, so many. Why in the world would you make the straws paper and keep the plastic cups? It's just, that's insane to me. Insane. It really bothers me. The third article. Geez, I forget now what the third article is. Let me have it bookmarked here. It's a lot easier to remember when you're have the computer right in front of you, but we've kind of merged these little talks, these little episodes. Instead of doing it behind a computer, you know, we get out here and we do what we can to help the environment. So let's see this one here. What was this about? That's right. Yeah, upcycling plastics into soap. So soap, you know, obviously we know the chemical structure, polyethylene is a type of plastic, obviously the most common one, but structurally it's very similar to a fatty acid. It's used as a chemical precursor to the soap. Both materials are made in long carbon chains. So I don't know how, but The article goes into a lot of depth. It's a very interesting read. I'll link it if you guys are interested. But again, another way to find a use for these wasted plastics and all this waste. So smarter people than I are on the job, which is great news. Great news. I think more and more of us are out here actually caring and actually wanting to make a difference. The more our numbers grow, the healthier the earth gets. That's how I look at it. We can fix it up together. But really haven't found much of some crazy crazy stuff like we did in the previous video. We got a snake, we found a phone. Yeah, so many of the masks. People don't realize there's plastic in those masks too. It's just almost in everything imaginable. Oh wow, look at that, you just see everything just gets shredded by the lawnmowers that come by here. Oh yeah, this is another huge thing I can see here. This was previously a couple quarts of oil. Please, if you have a car where an older car and it's not running great and you got to put oil in it all the time to keep it running, it's bad enough as it is, but please don't just toss the quart of oil after you're done using it and you've pulled over into the road. I mean, it's incredible to me that people think that that's okay, but the average person really doesn't have the time or the energy to think about the repercussions of thousands of their daily lives and their acts. Oh, here's another one. Tires. I can't tell you how many articles I go through about how these tires are also ruining the oceans and ruining the soil. Our chemical process for making rubber is also, we got a friend, we got an ally. Love to see that. Allies are good. So let's see what kind of, any living things under this one? No, there isn't. But just, yeah, look at the bulkiness of some of these truck tires. There's just metal in there, plastics, rubber. Just so much of that material poisons the planet. It's just maddening. That's another cool thing to research if you're into starting a business. Maybe trying to, I'm sure there's others, but get into the tire business. Finding replacements for rubber and plastic and tires. Because we obviously just can't stop driving cars. We built our entire economies and communities off of these things, so we just have to continue to modify them. As they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Oh look, we got a little beautiful bumblebee here. It's crawling along on top of course, plastic. Yeah, the bees are super sensitive to this kind of stuff too, because these chemicals get leached everywhere and makes them go crazy. So sad, and all the neonicotinoids that we spray everywhere on all of the produce and crops that are grown, that also just absolutely wreaks havoc on their immune systems and whatnot. Oh my goodness, so much junk, so much junk. So, hope you guys are staying healthy out there. Like we talk about all the time, grow your own food, yo. You'll save money, taking care of something is beautiful, and you know it's good for you. I can tell it's not, you know, mass-produced garbage like this. It's very dangerous to be consuming all the time. You know, I get it. Life is hard. Indulge a little bit. Treat yourself occasionally, but don't build your lives around that junk. It's very, very bad for you. Spent many years carelessly eating whatever, and I regret it. This looks like a pizza box, a Papa Pepperoni. A pizza Papa Pepperoni. Yeah, at least they don't put pizzas in plastic. Oh, could you imagine? A plastic of pepperoni? What's the matter with you, plastic pepperoni? Could you imagine? You know what though? I bet there's a pizza place out there that serves their pizzas in some sort of plastic container. Whether it be single serve, slice, or the entire pie. I can imagine there's some cheapy business owner can get it cheaper than paper or something, and does do it. Such a shame. So we hear the roar of the ocean. Oh look, we got another huge bag up there. Somebody just decided to throw their whole bag of garbage out. That's a big yikes, guys. It's a big, big yikes. You know what I haven't found today? There has been no boozers, no smokers. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. We're about halfway through a full bag here, and there's been no beer. No beer, no smoking, no vapes. Oh, did I jinx it? There's a Modelo. I jinxed it, guys. Jeez Louise. Just when you think there's hope, there it is. It lies deep in the grass. The boozers. -1 for the boozers once again. Oh, here's we go. Here's some metal. Some sort of slick locks. Used to be a lock of some kind. Now it's sitting here. Ugh. That's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, right up here by the street is where the happening happens. This is where it's happening. A little mozzarella. Would you like a little mozzarella? When you eat the mozzarella, throw out the mozzarella container. Look at that. Shredded. Such a shame. I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't even like going and giving my money to these places. That's the best way to win against these people, is vote with your dollars. And I know sometimes it's unavoidable, and I'm not trying to pretend like I don't use plastic sometimes to buy liquid, and obviously it's the nature of the beast, but we all actively do as much as we can to stop that from happening. And these companies will be forced to change their business models and eat the extra costs, which they don't like doing, and get rid of plastic in their production. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. One person at a time, one piece of trash at a time. Changing minds. Hearts and minds. Looks like I got another bag here that I'm gonna carry off because somebody just, potentially who lives in their car there, threw a whole bag of garbage out. Yikes. So we'll take care of that. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure we're living that green revolution. Love you guys. Bye.